What's up, guys? Welcome to Backyard Boat Works. So this is first in a series of videos that I'm going to document on this boat here. So this is a 1997 Paramount center console open fish, I believe is what they used to call it. However, a lot of these guys in South Florida are using these as speedboats now, adding brackets and big motors to them. So I didn't film any of the teardown process, so what you can see here is about 7 days of solid work. Cutting, grinding, cutting out the old wood, had plywood stringers, plywood transom, and yeah, that was quite a bit of work, probably 7 solid days. You can see I also started to trim away some of the deck and, or not the deck, where the deck used to be, and the hull sides in the back corners there, where I'm going to tie the transom glass into the sides. So it's pretty amazing how much dry laminate that I found in this boat, and that really added to a lot of the grinding and cutting, because on the floor of the boat, I think somebody had been into this boat once before and did some glass work, and there was a lot of layers of glass that were delaminating, and the layups were just super dry. So here in the transom, I probably have 3 or 4 days worth of work cutting out the old plywood. So the transom actually wasn't in that bad a condition. It was only really rotted towards the bottom, but the owner wanted to take it out and redo it completely. So you can see here where I cut the deck off, there's actually 2 decks. That's why there's a couple layers here. So I cut off as much as I could with a diamond wheel, and then came back with a heavy disc grinder to grind this as flat as I could get it. And I still have a little bit of a high spot right here. So I'm probably going to have to come back and grind more of this like I did here in this section. So I took some 2x4s and 4x4s and 2x6s and built this gantry here. And I just used a simple Harbor Freight come along with a 2x4 underneath the cap, just to lift it up. I was going to pull the cap off and set it on the ground, but I was able to lift it high enough so I can get full access to the transom. I use these painter poles. These are actually roller extension poles, and they come in super handy when you need to kind of support something temporarily. So I just put them underneath there just to keep it balanced, and I screwed it into the gantry to keep it from swinging side to side. It's pretty protected back here where my work area is, so that hasn't really been an issue, but if there's a storm coming, I can drop this down pretty quickly. So I may need to build another one of these gantries for the front so I can lift the front of the cap up, because I need to get underneath that front cap area to do work to the old anchor locker area. It's pretty ugly in there and needs to be cleaned. So I might build another one, or I might just take this one, set the back down, and then lift the front up. That'll be a game time decision when it comes to it. So in this first video, I'm going to be making a template for the transom, and I'll show you how I made the template to follow the contours of the bottom of the hull using some plywood. And I'm going to be putting in Coosa to replace the plywood, and I'm using 1-inch Coosa board, and I'm going to cut the Coosa twice and then laminate it to itself to make it 2 inches thick. And then the plan is to put about 7 layers of biaxial on the inside, tying that in. So I'll alternate the 90-degree biaxial and the 45-degree biaxial. And the reason I'm making this template is because the Coosa board's crazy expensive. I get wholesale pricing on this stuff, but for a walk-in customer, this piece is about $450. So you want to make a template and not mess up any of that. So enough chit-chat, let's get to building this template. And if you have any questions about any of this process, just leave me a comment down below, and I'll try to do my best to answer the questions. You can also follow me on Instagram on my boat channel at Grayscale Boatworks. So this is a good place to wrap up the video. I'm just using my belt sander here to clean up the edges and fine-tune the fit on this Coosa piece. Then I'm going to cut another piece to double this up to make it 2 inches thick. In the next video, I'm going to be actually making a bracket to hold these two pieces together securely while the epoxy dries. And subscribe, follow along. I'm going to be taking this boat all the way to the finish in these videos. Appreciate it, guys. Again, you can follow along on my Instagram page, Grayscale Boatworks. I'll put it down in the description. See you in the next one.